country.
Of course, Mr. Carter offers no stats to back that up, nothing but bloviating. Joining us now from Washington, Fox News analyst Laura Ingraham. I know you're hearing on the radio, I'm hearing in the email, that people are getting fed up with this race car business. And even though the Obama administration has been very diligent in saying, look, we don't believe any of this opposition to the president has anything to do with the color of his skin, somebody like Jimmy Carter getting out there and saying that tees people off, does it not?
Well, it really does. Look, Bill, the disapproval numbers right now for President Obama with Gallup are at about 41, 42%. That's a serious problem, and day by day, it gets worse and worse. Now, remember the big speech of the joint session of Congress, right? That was supposed to turn the tide. You got a little bit of a bump, and then, as we predicted, it started to fall. This is making it fall faster and fall farther. I disagree with what you said a little bit, Bill. I mean, I don't think the Obama administration has been out front on this. I think they've been very late and very anemic in speaking about
Burton,
this.
Bill Burton said again today.
Yeah,
I don't know how many times
the president. No, this isn't Burton at 30 years old going out there. This is so toxic and so poisonous to the public discourse.
Absolutely.
The president, who did the big speech on race after the Reverend Wright thing blew up, he needs to get out there and say, knock it off.
He will on Sunday. I guarantee you he's got to. Because you're absolutely right. What's happened is, and we talked about this earlier in the program, that Barack Obama is now getting hammered by Acorn, by Jones, by Jimmy Carter trying to help him, throwing a race card in there, and everybody's going, that has nothing to do with race.
When's the last time, Bill, do you think Jimmy Carter actually was a net positive for the Democratic Party?
You know, I don't get him. Do you get him?
Well, last time we checked, wasn't he down in Gaza and he was trying to fix things in Gaza? A couple of years before that, he was in Cuba hanging out with Fidel and talking about the medical supplies or something in Cuba. He's always doing something loony, but let me tell you something. There's nothing worse than a self-loathing Southerner. And the things he said about Southerners, in addition to the racism comment, I thought was especially deplorable, given the fact that we have all these minorities over the last couple of decades who've left these liberal cities, these enclaves like Michigan, which have been total failures in Detroit, and moved back to places like Mississippi and South Carolina for economic opportunities. I mean, it's just insulting.
But I don't get Carter, because if Carter had called Obama and said, you know, tomorrow on NBC News, I'm going to say the opposition to you is color-based, Obama would have said, don't do it. But everybody knows that using, as your word, the toxic racist card to try to marginalize legitimate opposition is going to
they don't want opposition. They don't want opposition. I mean, you touched on it. Look, opposition is something they haven't been able to deal with this summer. They haven't been able to deal with it in recent months. They thought it was going to be the Globama 24/7. They were going to go from the cover of Vogue magazine to the Vegetable Garden to date night in New York, and that everyone was going to love them so much that they were going to suddenly love liberalism. But they don't love liberalism. The people of this country have rejected that time and again. They don't know what to do now. They're in big trouble, and they don't seem to be able to really tamp down what we're seeing as far as this, like, basically a speech code being imposed on the American people. It's like one of those campus speech codes, you know, those PC speech codes. They want that to apply to all of us now, not just to places like Harvard, but everywhere in the country. So we can't really speak out without being called racist.
Why do you think this Acorn thing has blown up so big? You had the elite media ignoring it. Charles Gibson didn't even know about it, and I like Charles Gibson. I mean, but
he's a nice guy, but where
he didn't know about it, and it was driven primarily by Fox News and talk radio, and it is absolutely a huge political scandal. There's no doubt. It's a big story, but it has blown up so much so that it blew off the Fed chief Bernanke saying, you know, the recession may be over. No, I want to hear more about Acorn. How did that happen? How did that happen?
Because again, it's the coasts of the United States think that the coasts are the whole country. They don't realize that this whole part of
but why the animosity toward Acorn? I don't like them because I think it's corrupt. I think that there's millions of dollars going in there. It's getting stolen. It's getting, all that. That's why I don't like them. But why do you think the folks really revile these people?
Oh, because, you know, Americans, they must be, I guess, according to Jimmy Carter, they must be all be racist.
Well,
I mean,
yeah, white
they're
acorn people, the one in
Obviously,
California with the underage hookers was white.
Yeah. Well, exactly. I think it goes to the heart of what we hope for in our democracy, which is a little bit of idealism. This idea that when you get federal dollars, you're supposed to be held accountable for what you do with those federal dollars. And for this to happen on this scale, in this many Acorn offices, and all these investigative departments at ABC, NBC, and CBS are kind of like playing catch up 5 days later. That's abominable. It's embarrassing for these networks. This is why they're bleeding viewership, and this is why they're bleeding influence. And now they're like, well, today in the Today Show, Bill, they covered the Acorn thing, I believe, for the first time. This broke last
Well,
Friday.
look, it's just great for us. Our
Thursday.
ratings last night were record and historic.
Congrats.
And thank you. I appreciate it. We're doing
Fantastic.
a responsible job on this. Laura, thanks very much, as always.
Thanks.
Did you see that is next? A woman trying to find out who the father of her baby is takes to the net. You will not believe who is behind this situation. Moments away.
Always outspoken.
You're an idiot.
Always on the money.
What a punk.
And always ready to get down to business. I'm Mrs. Culling. October 5th, Fox Business Network.
Okay, you're all set.
There's lots of things that make Pearl Vision different, like no surprise cost at our registers. And our offers are different too. Right now, it's buy one complete pair of eyeglasses and get a second pair free for you or anyone in your family. Visit pearlvision.com.
Bicycle, I've missed you. Gathering dust as pollen floats through the air. But with the strength of Zyrtec, the fastest 24-hour allergy relief, I promise not to wait as long to go for our ride. With Zyrtec, I can love the air.
Something big is about to happen all across America. Soon, Publishers Clearinghouse will blanket the country to surprise 101 new winners with cash prizes of at least $10,000. You could even win $1 million. Will they knock on your door?
Are you kidding? Is this a joke?
Find out if they're headed to your area. Go to PCH.com and type in your zip code or watch your mail. Publishers Clearinghouse is about to surprise 101 new winners. Enter now, and one of those winners could be you.
Next time you're in a Tim Hortons for breakfast, you'll notice something in the air. Freshly baked home-style biscuits, bagels, and new toasted English muffins. 3 fresh ways to enjoy our hot breakfast sandwich for just $2.35. And that's what we call fresh thinking. Tim Hortons, where quality meets value.
When people find out that I work at Gardner White, they ask me, can I get a deal?
Come to the employee discount sale. You get my discount on top of the sale price.
Now through Sunday at Gardner White, you pay what our employees pay and not a penny more.
That adds up to 75% off.
Take 5 full years to pay with no interest, and we'll pay your sales tax.
And you can get a free HD TV from Best Buy.
Get in on this deal. Now through Sunday, only at Gardner White.
You'll overpay anywhere else.
The Auto Eye Center wants you to take this simple eye test. Ready? What's the most you'll ever pay for conventional LASIK?